Well, this is not your typical political story, but yeka politics are and just about yeka governance and just about political parties, but yeah, traditional governance and so on. So I need to talk about this story. You see, the longest reigning paramount chief of Asanteman, naturally say, Ohenia or Ashanti region. Ono na watena so achepa otumfo say tutu etu na free ade so ede no hene ne yeye ama otumfo say tutu etu no ana ama otumfo say tutu etu na free ade so no na yewi a mehre nana say if there's one thing about otumfo say tutu at least for the past 5 years ye hu ne say consistently war ye and no ne say ahemfo asebe. And you see, this is one of the reasons why if you go to Ashanti region, we are here now Ashanti region, untumi sebe enkonko di asembia eye asemboni bia. You see, you won't cry no. One of the the reasons in tia ya lankrofo ka say asase honsem eye mercy e won crying. Dodo na no eye because of ahemfo. In Kumasi, you don't hear stories like that because of the paramountcy of Otumfo. Udiagra will be too if we so. Menayana situations we say what we can learn from it no. Na saadi we ya Otumfo say to war no. Minyaya na kobeni in a certain way. Mema wati asiye. Me feel say anke bebo agana phone na. You understand what I'm saying? And now first time we have subscribing, now click the notification bell on so. Oh yeah, this our latest news be about on Sabek. And this video is kindly brought to you by Corporate Logistica. Obi biara opese we invest e Ghana ha say no. Sector is seeking for investment pan sa cars akese cargo vehicles no. Obi abeka trail those cars no are short to Ghana. It to me DB eba Ghana. Now na driver pa near manage car ni ye emawa obedi huska. Uhunti ena Corporate Logistica ewo hono. Fre womo opeka ne ba fa kan ne show mo nsa womo abepe driver maka no. Omo ewe juma driver ne beye. Omo ankasa be maintenance o kan ne ho na wa kan ne ye ode no every month. Omema wakitua 2 times. 0598022033. Oni omo entwetwe enkomo. Now, I say Asantehene destools longest reigning paramount chief of Asanteman. I say the Asantehene Otumfo say to has reportedly destooled the paramount chief of Kenyansi number 2. Odenehu Didiakon Nana Odenehu Dadiakon Odenehu Dadiakon Nana Kwabena Insia Abebio. According to multiple reports, Nana Kwabena Insia Abebio, before his destoolment, was the longest reigning paramount chief of the Ashanti Kingdom, having served as the paramount chief of Kenyansi number 2 for about 89 years. Hey, that is a papa would di hini a chair. We di hini for 89 good years. Wow. No one can say what this saying. Also, a report by opimswa.com indicated that the paramount chief was removed by the king of Asanteman for violating Asante customs and traditions at the Asanteman Traditional Council meeting held on July 27, 2026. It is Asanteman The report indicated that Nana Kwabena Nsia was destooled alongside nearly all of his kinsmakers, who were found to have violated their oath of office. Oni omu take decision. The chairman is angrofoni ni nano. Oni omu ne di boneno. However, the Asantehene spared the Kontihene and reinstated the destooled Achiame and other linguists within the traditional council. Oh, okay, sorry. Chairman ne and not just ohene no emso ne chiame enya asem enopame chiame no. Bakunti hene ne de ode che no. Ena chiame na ohene ne pame no. Oma chiame ne ye den. Esanso back. That's interesting. I say before removing Nana Kwabena Nsia Abebio, the Asantehene recalled the numerous occasions on which he had warned him about his actions. Nti ansa na nana ebeyi nefri ono Asantehene etre se wo eya na mafrel na mabɔ kokɔ ade we ya wo ye jai umfi eya na makatra se jai de wo ye umfi. So the king indicated that the paramount chief had created a position in his traditional area, knowing he did not have the authority to do so. A. Paramount chief had created a position in his traditional area. Not to say, wakwako create position. Wakwako. Not to say, wakwako ya dia buru ni 2 means so. Baby any kwan say wokoko didi wakwako didi. I mean, just for better expression. Baby any kwan say wokoko di na hini wakwako di na hini wo ho. I say I warned you several times. Now look at the outcome. You created Hiawahine in your area. What right do you have to do that? You were a courtier at Hiawahime's house. So, how can you create that position? Through your service, Kenyasi number 2 was created, and you were made the chief. The land you occupy belongs to Kenyasehene. You introduced her to me as your mother, and I charged you to take care of her. You have ruined your entire family. Not one wise person has come from the family now. I know all your ploys. All along, I counseled you about these ill acts, but violating Asante traditions cannot be spared. Your reign ends now, the king was quoted as saying. Ache say as asia na otisokra no Asantehene mu ene kriti ahini ma na wokokotena asase ne so. Nanso ade ananke ni kwan so ye, but ade a meni agye ho ne se otumfo tre a boni a wo ye na me bɔ kokɔ nini na umfi me bɔ kokɔ umfi ende de odi wadwuma ye den eto ho. Also, the report indicated that immediately after the Asantehene's pronouncement, the chief's footwear was removed in accordance with tradition. The designated persons were instructed to perform the required ram slaughter to seal the destools. Now, this is, part of the tradition. Ewo Asanteman mu a me no mefe. And I think that things like this, it is meant to, say enyama bi say isi a won ana de enti anyama bi say ewo say wo ho in every traditional area, and say it will guard sa ahemfo no so that omonfo mutumi no ensisi the ordinary people. Because one thing about, if we've learned one thing about the existence of Nipa, the Yesua Pan say, if you give people power, too much power, they tend to abuse it. That is one thing about human existence. Book biabe widi biabe trail. Absolute power absolutely corrupts. And so you need to have a system in place. Omo odi to mi na show monsano system ne be den ebe check you. And I like that Asantehene does that. Atiasie intine no unim na okoko ye we ya yebetu ade. So it is one of the things other regions no omuni. Atiasie, I mean, semeka sada, okay, I don't know, make other regions the northern side. I think the northern side, they also have that. Okay, for the northern side, they also have that, especially if you are talking about the upper east and then those things. But I mean, it's a very unique thing. Actually, I say, most of the regions no any. It instills discipline, or is supposed to instill discipline in chiefs. Mesre otumfo say tutu se senia asantefo ahemfo no omode amamre nim eye fomo a eya na wo bem eba betu omu free ade so no Ghana for stress ahemfo a wo mode omo ho hye galamsey mu no so betumi aye sa ade na nka ye ni beje pan last Saturday emra me ye me live stream e wo Facebook a me kasa about galamsey no me mamoti ase se galamsey ecosystem no all the actors involved say one of the actors impo etre say ye be solve galamsey problem na ye be solve galamsey problem no and one of the actors am a body e ya himfo so imagine that senior uyo hini near two no two for say to line up ahimfo na galamsey ekoso wo omompotemu nyina because every single land is under ohini bi nti ye ma warning ohini bi a wonim say galamsey ekoso wo ompotemu no ye betu ade so eho na wo behu so two for say to me ya ade we ma yempa yeni beji papa. That is all I am going to say. Ghana ni bia wutie me no book we eye asset ba ko a e wo se wo keep e wo fie to book we ma wo ho to ma wo ba to ma obi biara osombo e wo wabrabo mu wadanfo obi a opese odiye wabrabo mu bia no to sa book we your friend the Ghanaian investor na sa book we be trail different forms of investment a obetumi aye e wo Ghana ha licensed investments. The first one e ya de bia your friend emergency fund. Book we bet show send you set up emergency fund. Abrabo aye boy bibia betumi ato. If you have an emergency fund, ebeba na aba be save you. Oka betumi asay wo kwan so. Obetumi ayare, oba betumi ayare, nini na emergency fund no ebe take control of all those situations. Book no besan so atre ade bia ye fe na endowment fund. A obetumi dia protect wo ho any your future. Na sa endowment fund no nyame mpengu ukokonya accident na untumi nye adwuma bioma it will take care of you for the rest of your life. Book no besan so atrel senya obe set up a personal pension fund. Enkrofo bebre eye adwuma wie ekọ retirement omukọ retirement we are no mo ho aba betwe omo o set up a personal pension fund. That will not be your case. Most importantly, book we betray how to invest in the Ghana Stock Exchange. Now Ghana Stock Exchange investment, basically, it means you are buying ownership of Ghanaian companies. Now Ghana Stock Exchange, it is one of the best performing markets in the whole world. A lot of people are making money from the Ghana Stock Exchange, but they don't know how to invest in it. Bukui ebetro sadie no. Your investment be why your friend mutual fund. Bukui betro how to invest in a mutual fund. Now mutual fund you don't need to be rich to invest in a mutual fund. I remember an example. You find say wa woba fresh. Now what per license mutual fund e Ghana has say opese odi usikashim. Say to me invest 500 cedis every single month. E a Ghanaian mutual fund moi. By the time I will be 19 years now I done a millionaire. You find say wa fa CB we did 10. Opese that chibi odi every month for 500 cedis a mutual fund boom emano. By the time I will bano and our fast obedi 29 years now oye millionaire. Wankasa wutie me we di 40. Now so wosha unye investment bia and no one say obey mutual fund every month for 500 cedis a shame. By the time obedi 59 years now when you 1 million Ghana cedis. Into mutual fund that is how it works. Small money every single month. By the time embre ebebano nesikano ayekese book we betro sanya mani na sa ope book no ni PDF anase ni twi video a free anase WhatsApp number na ewo book ni so sisia na sa we Ghana ni na wa brochure na ope hard copy of the book a very simple call Amazon na search for the Ghanaian investor place the order bibia obi I be ship e dia bro medase.